Hey guys, Microsoft's E3 press conference just ended. Here are my thoughts on what went down. These are all gut reactions, and I haven't really had too much time to formulate a proper opinion, but that's what first impressions are for, right? First up, they opened the show up with Forza 7. Now, I'm not a huge racing sim guy, so this doesn't really interest me all that much, but they used the Scorpio, or I guess now it's the Xbox One X, to showcase the graphics of this game, and it looks phenomenal. While I'm not a huge fan of racing sims, so it wasn't really for me, using it to showcase the graphic power of the Xbox One X, which I'm just going to call the X for now, was a genius move. It worked awesome, because racing games, as we all know, tend to look phenomenal with the weather effects, the different rain, even the puddles and the way that they dynamically change the race throughout races as it's raining is generally something to behold in terms of raw graphical power. After that, they went into some details about the actual X. Needless to say, I am quite interested in it. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up per se, because the issue for me is a lot of the games that they've showed for the Xbox One X, I can just buy on PC. And chances are I'm going to just buy it on PC, because I still think that a PC is going to be more powerful than the X. So really, there's no point in me downgrading from what I already have. Now, when Phil Spencer came out and he started talking about games. Games. And I was really hoping this year that Microsoft was going to focus on them, because those were so important and they've been missing them for the last few years. The last few years has been all about the Xbox as an all-entertainment console. People don't care about that when they go to E3. When they go to E3, they care about what games are you bringing me, what games do I get to play. That's all that matters. And Sony has had that on lockdown for a number of years now. So over the course of the 2-hour presentation, they showed off, I think it was 42 games, with 22 of them being exclusives. The exclusives part is a big thing. As we all know, Xbox has had issues with exclusives in the last little while, what with canceling Scalebound and just not having their exclusives live up to what they needed to be, like Quantum Break and Halo 5. They just were not as good as they needed to be. A lot of the games that they showed off were actually indie games using their ID at Xbox, which is an indie development program that they're using to bring more indie developers into the mainstream. It's a great idea. I love the idea. And there are a few games in there that quite interest me. One of those games was The Last Night. That game looks pretty cool. It looks like a pixelated Blade Runner style game. It looks quite interesting, and I can't wait to see more of it. We only got a small little glimpse of it, so I'm not quite sure what it actually is yet. But it's got me definitely intrigued. We also got a much better look at Crackdown 3, which looks really cool. The only issue I have is the last alpha that they showed us was all about destruction, blowing up buildings and everything like that, and it was really cool. But in this game, or in this trailer, sorry, they didn't really show any of that. It was mainly just basic gunplay, jumping around, being a superhero kind of thing. While it's fine and all, I saw one scene in that trailer where they shot a bunch of rockets at a overpass and didn't blow up. I was hoping that using the new power of the Scorpio, it would blow up and it would have some really cool effects, and really hoping for that. Another game that was really interesting was a new Assassin's Creed. I haven't been excited about an Assassin's Creed game for a long time, probably since Black Flag. And the reason I was excited for Black Flag is I like pirates. I think pirates are awesome. So Black Flag was a step in the right direction for me. After that, they kind of just lost my interest. This new one takes you to Egypt, and it's the birth of the assassins. And it looks like it's going to be a lot different from the other ones. There's even an almost Zelda-ish slow motion with the arrow freezing time when he shot a guard in the head. That was pretty cool. And the combat looks like it's been completely changed. There's no more of the stand, wait for them to attack, press X to parry. That's gone. I hope it's gone, because that was just, it was too easy to just cut through swathes of guys. Just murder everybody in sight. He still has the wrist blade, which is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to getting my wrist blade action back. And the combat, like I was saying, looks a lot more skill-based. That's a good thing. Although at the end of the trailer, there was kind of, I guess at the end of the gameplay, he shot an arrow and he controlled the arrow. That seems a little weird to me. I mean, we'll see how it works in the actual game, but that just seemed a little weird for me. One other game I forgot to mention earlier was Metro. The new Metro game is coming, and they showed it running on the Xbox X, and it looks fantastic. I don't know if it was all gameplay or how it was. It looked to be gameplay, and I mean, I hope it was gameplay, because if it was, damn does it look good. But gone are the claustrophobic tunnels and everything. It looked a lot more open. You were above the surface without your mask this time. and it had a whole different vibe to it than the previous Metro games, while still feeling like Metro. As soon as he looked up at his watch and I saw the air meter and everything, I was pumped that it was another Metro game, because I absolutely love that series. They showed a bunch of other games that, while I think they're going to be good, they're not really for me, and I'm probably going to miss a lot of them, but there were things like Cuphead that actually got a release date, which I believe was September 29th. I mean, I'll probably play it, but I'm not that excited for it. Lucky Super Tail or something like that. It's like a platformer game. It looks fun. I don't know if I'll play it or not. And then near the end of the show, as soon as this trailer started, I went, is this Ori? Just by the art style alone, I thought, this is the next Ori game. And when Ori Will of the Wisps came on right at the end, I was so excited. I loved Ori and the Blind Forest. It was one of my favorite games when it came out that entire year. It was emotional, stunningly beautiful. I've never seen a game that looks that beautiful. It was just a joy to play and behold the entire way through. So if they can even come close to what the first one was, it's easily going to be one of my top 10 games of the year, whatever year it comes out. They also showed off this one really cool music style game. I don't even know what it's called. I think it was Their Artful Escape or something like that. But this guy was jumping on different platforms, playing a guitar. It was riding on unicorns. It looked like this really psychedelic trip. And it was something that spoke to me personally, because I'm a fan of metal and guitar and old school rock and stuff like that. So it looks like something that I'm really going to enjoy. And it's coming when it's damn well ready, according to the trailer. So I thought that was a nice little touch as well. We also got a gameplay demo of Sea of Thieves. This is the first real gameplay that we've actually seen, other than that little YouTube players that we had last year where they had 4 different people playing the game and it just cycled between the different perspectives. This was an actual gameplay trailer. It wasn't even a trailer, it was a gameplay session. They had a really funny narrator narrating over top of it, just giving snarky remarks about everything. They went on a treasure hunt, they went underwater, which I didn't even know. I mean, I figured it was a possibility, but it was really cool to actually see it. And they went into a sunken ship and they got attacked by sharks. And then they went to an island, they fought skeletons, they got a legendary treasure chest. And then when they were leaving, a giant storm hit. And when they were on their boat, another boat attacked them in the middle of the storm. So they're fighting back and forth with these other people. And instead of just duking it out with cannons, the character actually grabbed a rope. Or no, he didn't grab a rope. He jumped in a cannon and he shot himself over onto the other boat. Killed the people on the boat. Tried to jump onto his other ship like with his crew. And then he fell in the water and a shark ate him. Really cool. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to scare me because I have a actual fear of open water. I don't like open water. I don't like the ocean. I don't like anything like that. So I'm going to have issues with that game, but it's still going to be fun. And easily the most exciting game that I have seen in the last year probably is Anthem. If this is what they took the team from Mass Effect to go make this game, it almost looks worth it because this game looks unbelievable. I mean, we only got a very early glimpse. It was like a 10-minute gameplay demo, but exosuits with an evolved style world with monsters and jetpacks and storms and gunplay and rockets. He had a rocket launcher on his shoulder that locked on to 10 different people and blew them all up. And when they were flying with the jetpack, he went under the water and then popped back up from the water to flank an enemy. I thought, that's crazy. That's so cool. And if this is truly open world like they say it is, that's fantastic. This is like what Destiny should be. I'm quite blown away by it. That trailer got me extremely hyped for the game and I can't wait to see more. I'm tailoring my hype because I have a feeling that there's going to be some issues with the game like Destiny was when it first came out. I really hope the loot drops are good, because if we run into that situation where we're not getting good gear throughout the game, it's not going to be worth it. And if we get another situation like Destiny where it feels like half the content is gone, it's not going to bode well for the game. But that's something that I have to be optimistic about and hope that BioWare, in all their experience that they have crafting a proper story, will be able to manage it. All in all, I thought Microsoft did actually a very good job this year. They did better than they did last year and the year before. They moved away from the Xbox as an entertainment system and moved it right back into games. Because ultimately, we're all gamers. That's all we care about. We want the games. If I have to give a rating, I don't know how to do this. Do I give it a letter grade like most other people are doing, or do I just stick with my usual ratings? If I'm going to give it a rating, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Mainly, I can't give it anything higher than that because I am excited to see what the X can do, but I'm not going to buy one personally, so I'm not super hyped for it. I'm not super hyped for Crackdown. I'm not super hyped for all those other things. I'm just mainly hyped about what this means for the future of the industry. Being that this powerful new console is coming out, Sony's going to have to step their game up in one way or another in order to keep up with them. It's just the way it's going to be. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this small little video about my reaction to Microsoft's E3 press conference, leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all that jazz, and I will see you all in the next episode. Later.